What if your dog has been quietly choosing you every single day? Not just following you around, not just wagging their tail, really choosing you in ways so subtle, so silent, so deeply wired into their psychology that most owners never even notice. There's a moment your dog does something so small, so ordinary, that you probably brush it off. A glance across the room, a lean into your leg, a sigh before they fall asleep next to you. And that moment, it's one of the most powerful expressions of trust that any living creature can give. Today, we're going to break down 12 of those signs, and by the end of this video, I promise, you'll never look at your dog the same way again. Most dog owners think trust is simple. They think, my dog loves me. I feed them, I take care of them, of course they trust me. But dog psychology is so much deeper than that. Dogs don't give trust because you fill their bowl. They earn trust. They build it. And they express it through a language that has almost nothing to do with words. And here's the thing that most people miss. Dogs are incredibly selective about who they truly let in. Even in a room full of people who love them, a dog will choose one person to give everything to. Are you that person? Let's find out. They make eye contact with you and then look away first. You've probably noticed it. You're sitting across the room and your dog just stares at you. You look back, and after a few seconds, they slowly look away. It feels like nothing, but it's actually everything. In the animal world, direct eye contact is a challenge, a confrontation. Most animals avoid locking eyes because it signals aggression or dominance. But when a dog holds your gaze and then calmly looks away, that's not disinterest. That's complete safety. They're saying, I see you. I'm not afraid of you. I trust what I see. Scientists call this the mutual gaze. And research from Azabu University in Japan found that when dogs and their owners lock eyes, both experience a surge of oxytocin, the same bonding hormone released between a mother and her newborn child. Think about that. Your dog looks at you and feels the same thing a baby feels looking at its mother. If your dog seeks out your eyes, especially in new or uncomfortable situations, they're not just watching you, they're anchoring themselves to you. They sleep facing away from you, or turn their back entirely. This one surprises almost everyone. You might think your dog turning their back on you means they don't want to be near you. The truth is the complete opposite. In the wild, facing away from something means exposing your most vulnerable side, your back, your neck, your spine. Animals don't do that around threats. They only do that around safety. When your dog curls up beside you and points their back toward you, they're not ignoring you. They're protecting you and trusting you to protect them. They're saying, I don't need to watch for danger when I'm with you. You are my safe place. And if your dog sleeps with their back pressed against you, that's not just trust. That's the deepest kind of comfort, the kind where even in their most vulnerable, unconscious state, they choose you. They bring you their toys, even when they don't want to play. Here's something beautiful that most people misread. Your dog drops a toy at your feet. You reach for it, and they pick it up and walk away. Confusing, right? You probably think they wanted to play, then changed their mind. But they weren't asking you to play. They were giving you something. Dogs are deeply gift-oriented. In their social world, sharing resources is one of the highest acts of affection. Wild wolves and social dogs share food and possessions with the members of the pack they value most. When your dog brings you their favorite toy, not to throw, not to tug, they're offering you their most prized possession. They're saying, this is mine, and you matter enough to me that I want you to have it. Some dogs do this when their owner is sad, or stressed, or crying. They don't understand your emotions the way another human would, but they feel that something is wrong, and they offer the one thing they know brings joy in their world, their toy. They follow you into boring rooms. The bathroom, the laundry room, the garage. Nowhere fun, nothing exciting happening. And yet, there they are. Not because they think something interesting is about to happen. Not because they want something from you. Just because you're there. Researchers refer to dogs as hypersocial animals. Unlike cats or most other domesticated pets, dogs have evolved over 15,000 years specifically to orient their lives around human beings. But here's the key. They don't follow everyone. They follow their person. If your dog trails you from room to room, not begging, not anxious, just present, that is pure attachment. That is a creature who has decided, somewhere deep in their ancient instincts, that wherever you go is where they belong. You are their compass. They show you their belly without you asking. The belly. The softest, most exposed part of a dog's body. Zero natural protection. When a dog rolls over and shows you that vulnerability without any encouragement, that moment is not casual. Behaviorists describe this as an appeasement gesture, but that word doesn't do it justice. It's not submission. It's surrender to safety. Your dog is saying, you could hurt me here, and I know you never would. The belly rub feels good, yes, but the act of exposing it, that comes before the reward. That comes from trust. And pay attention to how relaxed they are in that position. A dog who shows their belly but keeps their eyes wide, ears back, tail tucked, that's anxiety. But a dog who flops over, completely loose, maybe even lets out a little sigh, that dog is in their safest place on earth, with you. Let me ask you something. Do you ever wonder if your dog truly knows how much you love them? Because here's what the science keeps telling us, again and again. Dogs can't understand your words. They can't read your texts or see your face in a photo, but they read your energy, your heartbeat, your breathing, the way you smell when you're stressed versus when you're calm. They feel you. And every one of these signs, every tail wag, every glance, every toy dropped at your feet, it's them feeling you back. They lean into you without asking for anything. You're standing still, maybe waiting for something, maybe just thinking, and your dog walks over and just leans. Their body presses into your leg. Their weight shifts toward you, and they stay there. No paw raised for attention, no whimper, no jumping, just contact. This is called leaning behavior in canine psychology, and it's one of the most pure expressions of emotional bonding that dogs display. They're not asking for food, they're not asking for play, they're not asking for anything. They just want to be close to you, to feel the warmth of you, to remind themselves that you're real and you're here. Some dogs do this when thunder rolls outside. Some do it when a stranger enters the house. Some do it for no reason at all, on a Tuesday afternoon, because something in their ancient, loyal heart just needed to feel you. Don't rush past those moments. They're saying, I love you, in the only way they know how. They yawn when you yawn. You've probably noticed this and laughed it off. You yawn, your dog yawns. Funny coincidence, right? Not a coincidence. Contagious yawning, the kind that passes from one being to another, has long been studied as a marker of empathy. For decades, scientists believed only humans and higher primates experienced it. Then they studied dogs, and they found that dogs not only catch yawns from humans, they catch them specifically from humans they're bonded with. A 2008 study found that dogs were significantly more likely to yawn contagiously when watching their own owner yawn versus a stranger. Your dog isn't just yawning because they're tired. They're tuned into you. Their nervous system is so synchronized with yours that even your small, unconscious physical reflexes are picked up and mirrored. That's not just connection. That's a kind of love so deep it lives in the body. They stay calm when you leave, but celebrate when you return. There's a painful myth that many dog owners believe. If my dog is too excited to see me come home, it means they love me more. The truth is more nuanced and more beautiful. A dog who trusts you completely doesn't panic when you leave because they believe you will come back. Separation anxiety, the barking, the destruction, the desperate howling, often comes from a place of fear, not love. A fear that you won't return. But a dog who is securely attached, They rest when you're gone. They settle. And when you walk through that door, yes, they light up, they bounce, they lose their minds with joy. But that joy isn't relief that you survived. It's celebration that their favorite thing in the world has returned. That's the difference between love rooted in fear and love rooted in trust. They check back on you during walks. You're on a walk. Your dog runs ahead, nose down, pulled by 1,000 smells. And then they stop, turn around, look directly at you, make eye contact, and then go back to sniffing. This behavior has a name, checking in, and it's a deeply ingrained trait that researchers believe developed as dogs co-evolved with humans over thousands of years. Wild wolves don't do this. Wolves stay with the pack and read the group. But domestic dogs have transferred that instinct onto their human. You are their anchor point, their center. Even in a world full of distractions and fascinating smells, they need to know where you are. Not because they're lost, because you matter to them more than everything else around them. They respond to your tone, not just your words. Say the word bath in the most excited, happy voice you can. Your dog will wag their tail. Now say, I love you, in a low, stern voice. Watch what happens. Dogs don't process language the way we do. They don't attach meaning to the word. They attach meaning to you, your tone, your energy, the rhythm of your breath. A 2016 study by neurologists in Budapest used MRI scanning to show that dogs process both words and tone simultaneously, and that praise only fully activates their reward center when both the word and the tone are positive. But here's what's remarkable. The dogs who had the strongest responses were always the ones most bonded to their owners. A dog who trusts you deeply has learned to read you, not just your voice, but your silence, the way your shoulders sit, the pace of your footsteps. They know when you're sad before you say a word. They know when you're afraid before you move a muscle. They're not just listening to you, they're studying you. They nudge you with their nose. A cold nose pressed into your hand, against your knee, into your arm. It lasts a second, and then they look up at you. This is called nose nudging, and it's one of the most direct, intentional forms of communication that dogs use with the humans they trust. In puppies, it begins as a way to communicate with their mother, a nudge that means, I'm here. Are you here? As dogs grow, this behavior transfers to their person, their chosen human. When your dog nudges you with their nose, they're initiating contact on their terms, quietly, gently, without drama. They're not demanding, they're not anxious. They're simply reaching out, the way a person might rest a hand on your shoulder without saying anything, just to make sure the connection is still there. And every time you respond with warmth, every time you reach back, you confirm what they already believe. I am safe with this human. They look at you right before they fall asleep. Save this one, because this one will stay with you. Watch your dog the next time they settle down to sleep near you. Most dogs, in their final moments before drifting off, will turn their head and look at their person one last time. Not anxiously, not searching for something, just looking. And then their eyes slowly close. Animal behaviorists believe this stems from an ancient protective instinct, a final check before the vulnerable state of sleep, a confirmation that their guardian is still there. But there's something more than instinct in it, because that last look, it's directed at you, not the door, not the window, not the room, you. In that moment, before they surrender to sleep and release all control of their body and their world, they look at the one thing that makes them feel safe enough to let go. They look at you. Think about every time your dog has done one of these things. The lean against your leg on a hard day. The toy dropped at your feet when you were crying. The way they always seem to find you in a crowded room. Your dog cannot tell you they love you. They will never write it down or say it out loud, but they have been showing you every single day in the only language they have, A language made of glances and nudges and slow blinks and bodies pressed close in the dark. And here is what all of this science, all of this behavior, all of these 15,000 years of coevolution is really saying. Your dog chose a life next to yours, not because they had to, not because they had no choice, but because somewhere in their ancient, loyal heart, you became home. If your dog is near you right now, and I have a feeling they might be, give them something extra today. Not a treat, not a toy, just a moment. Your full attention, a hand rested on their side, your calm breath next to theirs. Because that's what they give you every day. And they've been waiting, patiently, quietly, for you to notice. Tell me in the comments, which one of these signs does your dog do most? I read every single one. And if this felt like your dog, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Because somewhere out there, a dog is pressing their nose into their person's hand right now, trying to say something they'll never have the words for. Let's make sure the people they chose know.